Okay, so we are in the middle of building a 7 PRC right at this very moment, and it has 2 barrels, 1 receiver. And so the goal is to get both chambers identical. And so we were actually in the middle of doing this. We were not going to make a video, but we kind of need to make a video because it came out so perfect. And you realize sometimes it's luck. I mean, there's a degree. Once you get under 1,000, there's a degree of luck in it. So I'm going to go over this as quick as I can. So look at this. Follow me along with the camera. All right, so this is a BAT HR 1728 solid bottom single shot. Lately, it seems like there's been 100 comments of people that don't understand that you can build single shot solid bottom rifles. And experts, people who really know what they're doing, prefer these. There's a million reasons why. I'm not going into it, but one of them is, my God, look at the amount of bedding area that you have. Okay, the next thing is, look how much steel is in this. Okay, you could put a 10-foot, you could clamp that in the vise, put a 10-foot cheater bar on it, hang off of the end of it, and you would not flex this. This is a heavy-duty, really serious piece of steel. 17.4, by the way, not 14.6. All right, so what I'm going to show you here is this receiver. First, we'll do this barrel. This is the barrel I just finished. I already did barrel number 1. This is barrel number 2. The threads came out really tight on this, so bear with me for a second till I can get this to go on there. I mean, they're really tight. As my daughter would say, 3 hours later. Okay, so there that is. Okay, now you realize everything is done. This is completely chambered. So here's the bolt, right? All right, now look. So this customer wanted his 7 PRC built on ADG brass. Okay, Vicki, if you keep moving your lips, you're distracting me like crazy. Sorry. Vicki's one of these people that read like this. Okay, it's very distracting. This is ADG brass, Atlas Development Group. He sent me a whole bunch of it. We made up dummy rounds out of ADG brass. I believe this is 190 grain Berger long range hybrid target. This is the reamer. Obviously it's a Manson reamer. It has a 316 neck in it. And I realize I'm going very fast, but I simply don't have time for this. I'm right in the middle of building this gun. So here's a piece, the average piece of the 7 PRC ADG brass, the average one out of that whole box. This, you might want to show them this. This is a Hornady 7 PRC Go Gauge, Manson. Okay, this is for the Hornady brass, and this would also be all the Hornady loaded ammunition. Average, okay? That's a Go Gauge. We don't use no Go Gauges. This is a 7 PRC ADG Go +2. That is 0.002, plus 2 thou. Okay, this is also a Manson gauge. He made this gauge off of that brass. All right, these are shims. This is shim stock. 1 thou thickness, 2 thou thickness, 3 thou thickness. So what we're going to do here is we're going to take this. This is the ADG gauge +2. So you take this. Come on, follow along here. Take this. Stick that in there. Push that the whole way forward, and it goes, right? It goes, and there's almost no wobble, but almost isn't good enough. We need to know, right? So put the gauge back in there. Take your bolt. Take the 1 thou shim. Make sure your bolt face is clean. Take your 1 thou shim. Stick it in the face of the bolt. And that just happens to say 1 on it. Watch. Because we're going to go over there, then we're going to do that one. So watch. Goes, right? 1 + 1. Make sure that it is. Make sure it doesn't stick on the back of the gauge. Get that headspace gauge to go back up in there. All right, watch. Here's the 1. Put the 1 here. Go to the 2. Put the 2 in the face. Go in, now watch. Put the 2 in. You see the handle? Now watch this, because this is important for when we go over to the other barrel. Did you see that? I could tap it, and then it went. In other words, it cammed over. Okay. Okay. That was the 2 thou. Take that back out. Get the 3 thou. Okay, this is 3. Okay, watch. Watch. And I'm not going to do it, but I could hammer it down. But it doesn't want to go with 3. Okay, so take that out. Now, same headspace gauge. Pull this out of here. Put that back where it goes. Get the receiver. Okay, bring the receiver over here. This is the first barrel. Threads aren't quite as tight on this one. That is almost too tight, if threads can actually be too tight. I like them to fit. I like it. This is a hair looser, so look, when you grab the end, I mean, there is just imperceptible end play right there. There should never be any play fore to aft. Okay, bring that around and literally it hits the shoulder and it just stops, right? So there's the bolt. Here's the same headspace gauge. Put that in there. Watch the bolt drop, Vicki. Okay, you see the bolt drops on that, right? Okay. Put the 1 in. You ready? Here's 1. Okay, watch this. There's 1. Okay, here's 2. Now remember how the 2 was on the other one. Watch. Okay, 2. Now watch this. Three. Okay, here's 3. Same deal. If I whacked it, I would guess, again, it's very hard to know, but I can tell that this will go a little easier than the other one on the 3. So there might be like 2, 3, 10 thousandths difference between these chambers, which I find very gratifying, very satisfying, very gratifying. Now here's the thing. You know, the goal in everything we do here is obviously 100% perfection. Can you get 100% perfection every single time? No. You know, but the idea is definitely to get under, say, half a thou. The fact that these 2 came out as close to identical as possible, there is an element of luck in that. But it's like the longer you do something, the luckier you get. And I've been doing this a really long time now. And these 2, and I said, these are, I want to make sure what I'm going to tell you, both of these barrels are, these are Bartlein 5R. Here, you might want to show them what the end of a barrel looks like. Here, see if you can, here, wait a minute. Lay it on this piece of paper so they can see. There, can you see that? Now don't go too close or it won't focus. Go a little closer. Watch the screen. Okay, you see it? That is a barrel stub. I cut them off, the other one for the other barrels over there. So these are both Bartlands. They're both 5R. They're both stainless. They're both .277. They're both 284. And they are both 1 in 825, which the customer requested that. I did not want to go that fast. There is absolutely no reason. We know that these 190 grain burgers will stabilize out of a 1 in 9. But, you know, he reads mainstream magazines and stuff, and woo, 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 it's got to be faster. It does not. Remember, as a rule, straight from, I think that was one of the Hart originally, that this quote is to one of the Hart brothers that has Hart barrels. He said, and it's in one of my bench rest books, the slowest twist that will stabilize the bullet will always be the most accurate. I think it was Clyde Hart that said that. So anyways, this is a 1 in 825. I strongly wanted to go to a 1 in 850 or a 1 in 875. But the customer didn't want to do that. So you got to somewhat cater to what the customer wants also. So these are sequentially serial numbered barrels. This is 2LX42091, and that one over there is 90. So pretty much identical barrels. I will say that one, when I had it in the lathe, was straighter as far as the hole through the barrel, the bore. It was straighter from end to end. This one is good, but not as good. This is not quite as straight as that one. But the threads on this one fit the receiver tighter than the threads on that one. So will one have an advantage? I don't know. I've already decided that barrel number 1 over there is the one that I'm going to actually build the gun out of. Barrel number 2 goes to the customer. And then in the future, when he finally shoots that out, it's up to the customer whether he wants to return the whole gun to me with the barrel, and then I'll go back through and put it all back together and rebed it, which it really, when you switch barrels, they should be rebedded, assuming that the bedding touches the barrel. Different people bed different ways, but I like to rebed when I switch barrels. So anyways, we weren't going to make a video, but there was some pretty cool stuff here, and I just wanted to show you somewhat, with a degree of luck, how close you can get them. They are essentially identical. And by the way, I guess I should say why. So what that means is brass that he is using in that gun, firing in that gun, when that barrel is done, should interchange with the second barrel, with the chamber in the second barrel. Now, whether that's smart to do or not, I don't know. I'd rather start with new brass. New brass for that barrel, new brass for the second barrel. But theoretically, since it's the same exact reamer, everything's identical, he should be able to switch. And by the way, I haven't cut this to length or anything yet, but we got the tenon exactly the same length. We got the threads almost exactly the same. We got the chamber almost exactly the same. And I'm going to try to cut them to within a 1/16 of an inch of lengthwise. So one should be a mirror image duplicate of the other. They should be interchangeable. All right, well, that's all I wanted to show you. We didn't really have time for this. What's the next video we're going to be working on? Do you remember? Oh, I am going to do a reamer video. And I'll just stop for just a second. You realize reamers. I have, it's getting to the point where I have hundreds of reamers, boxes and boxes full of all these reamers. So I know we've been saying we're going to do a reamer video. Well, we are, and it's going to be a long video because we have to go into so much information. So here's what I want you to do. If you want a reamer video, like you're out there like, yeah, we really want a reamer video, just give me like 500 comments that say you want it, and then I'll know you really do, and we'll put the time and energy into it. It's going to be a pretty big project. It might be multiple part videos. I mean, it's a pain in the butt. By the way, also, we're getting to the point where we need help. If you're out there and you don't have a full-time job and you'd like to come here and help, and you can, you're in the right place, and you won't mind working for free, call us because we need help. And we need a cameraman is what we really need. When we go out to shoot, it's too much for Vicky to run the camera, run back and forth for the targets. It's just too much. And I can't do it because I have to concentrate on shooting. If you're not a bench rest shooter and you've never put all the bullets through the same hole, you cannot imagine how hard it is to sit down with a 7 mag and shoot groups under 0.2 of an inch. All right, see you later.